Adrienne Hamke-Wicker here from the Thriving Workplace Initiative, explaining the engagement ratio, a measure available on Gallup Online for organizations that have at least 100 respondents. Imagine that the people of your team, your department, your organization are in a boat working together to get to a destination. That destination could be your vision, mission, goals, or something more concrete like the successful completion of a project. The engagement ratio is a descriptor of two types of behavior: engaged and actively disengaged. Engaged employees are involved in, enthusiastic about, and committed to their work and workplace. They are rowing the boat toward the destination. They are working in sync with other people, they feel adequately supported by the boat, and they are encouraged to look ahead and suggest course corrections. Actively disengaged employees, on the other hand, are miserable. Not only that, they are busy acting out their distress. They can passively resist forward progress by not rowing, or they can actively impede progress by doing things like dragging their oar in the water or doling out complaints. Actively disengaged employees jeopardize reaching the goal, and they are unhappy when they are at work. The engagement ratio is a measure comparing the number of engaged employees in your organization to the number of actively disengaged ones. In this case, we would say the engagement ratio is 1:1. For every engaged employee, there is one actively disengaged employee. Actively disengaged is always indicated as a 1. In this case, there are about 1.5 engaged employees for every actively disengaged one, a ratio of 1.5:1. Here's another example. In this scenario, there is less than one engaged employee, more like 0.25. So the engagement ratio here is 0.25:1. So how is this helpful? The engagement ratio is a dynamic measure, giving you a picture of the relative health of your organization. A simple percent will tell you what portion of your team is engaged or actively disengaged. The ratio gives you a measure of relationship and degree. You might be asking, is there a ratio that is ideal? In fact, there is. In their 30-plus years of research, Gallup has found that it takes a ratio of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4:1 for the power of engagement to really take hold. This 4:1 ratio is the tipping point where the engaged can consistently counteract the impact of the actively disengaged. Not only that, Gallup has found that world-class organizations have an engagement ratio of 8:1. If you've got a large organization, use the engagement ratio to get a high-level snapshot of how your group is thriving. Visit these websites to learn more about the Thriving Workplace Initiative and get tools you can use.